Hello and welcome to the Trading with Price Action and Volume Profile course. So in this introduction, we're going to go over the main sections of this course, and I'm going to explain what we're going to be covering in each one in general. Also, it's worth noting that this is actually a updated introduction for this course, as I'm going to be completely overhauling it now at the beginning of 2022. So just to give you all a quick background, if you are not already a student or are familiar with my platform, this was my very first original course that I released in the middle of 2020. You can go into my website and you can look a little bit more information as far as my background, my trading experience, and how I came about into making this trading courses. But basically, back in 2020, when I had more time available, I decided to put together a course that would be really great and geared towards beginner to intermediate traders. I've taken many courses throughout the years. I've spent a ton of money on them, and honestly, most of the time I felt a little bit underwhelmed. And so I thought, I want to make a course exactly the way that I would have wanted to learn if I was just starting out. What are the things that I would have really liked to have learned? What I think now, after years of experience in the markets, I think are the most important and significant things to know that have become part of my trading strategy, both for short-term intraday trading as well as more for swing trading in many different markets. I personally have experience in futures markets, which is what I trade the most now. I've also done a lot of trading in crypto and in Forex, mostly using swing trading or long-term trading approaches. So, over the years, I've developed a lot of different strategies and techniques, things that I've learned, also things that I learned and then realized they were not really good for me and I just had to scrape them. And so I want to, with this course, just give you very accurate and good information, things that I think are essential for anyone starting out in trading to know. And so that's pretty much what we're going to cover in this course. And like I said, this is a completely revamped version of the course that I'm going to do. The original course that I made in 2020 was great, but one thing that I do realize is back then I had pretty basic recording equipment, and so now that I've been making upgrades to all my computing equipment, microphones, etc., I wanted to re-record the entire course, adding on new content, bringing it all up to date with extra content for 2022, and also just getting a much better quality experience as far as the graphics and the audio. So even if you're already being signed up to the course and you already finished the original version of the course, you're definitely going to get a lot more value also from this new version of the course, as I'm going to be adding a lot of extra content. And if you're just new here, well, then know that you're getting the best version of this course now. I'm making it really a lot more complete even than before. This is going to be a pretty extensive course. I think it's probably going to go around like 14 hours or so, but that can vary with all the bonus material also that I've been adding to it. And in the future, I'm always going to keep updating this course as well to always keep it relevant and as complete as possible. Another thing to note is, if you don't do it already, you should I suggest you go follow me on my YouTube channel. because I share a lot of free trading education material there. So a lot of times throughout this course, I might put links on the resources sections of each lesson, or I'm just gonna let you know in the lesson that you can go check out my YouTube channel for some complementary material to what we're gonna cover on the course. Obviously, everything that I go over on the course is gonna be, I'm gonna share with you a lot more alpha, a lot more useful information related to my own trading strategies in the course. The content that I do on YouTube is sort of pretty general for just, the general audience that is interested in trading. But obviously, I'm saving all the best and most, exclusive information that I use in my trading for my courses and for my students. Okay, so let's first just go over the contents for the different sections we're going to have on the course. So the first section is obviously the one you're watching now, which is just the introduction. Second section is going to be technical analysis principles. So here I'm going to start from the very basic levels, just talking about candlestick charts, how to read charts, things like how do you read trends, how do you interpret market structure. We're going to talk about some classical candlestick patterns. We're going to talk about classical chart patterns, etc. This is a section that's going to be dedicated to all the basic building blocks that every trader should know, even if it's things that maybe, once you get into a more advanced level, you're not really using as much. This is like anything, like in school, you go through different levels where you learn things building on one another. So in trading, I feel is the same way. You really need to have all your bases well understood. You need to know all the basics of technical analysis, of chart reading. So then once we start moving into more advanced concepts, you obviously have a good background knowledge of everything that you need to know to start out. And this course, like I said, is just going to be building on itself. So we're going to start at a very basic level and end up with some very more advanced strategies in the volume profile section, etc. Okay, so that whole section number 2 is going to be dedicated to the basic concepts and patterns related to technical analysis. And like the name of this course implies, the focus is going to be price action trading, which is trading mostly using what they call naked charts. So we're not going to be using much indicators at all. We're just going to be basing all our analysis and our strategy for trading around what the price trend and structure and behaviors are. And then also we'll complement it with volume profile, which you can see that's a really, really good combination. And that's how I develop and why I use this style of trading. In the third section, advanced price action concepts, we're going to go a little bit deeper into what is market structure, how we can read it, and then I'm going to share with you a list of all my favorite price action patterns that I use in my trading. Some of these are more well known than others, but I'll just go over each one. We'll define them. I'll show you a lot of examples. We'll go over charts and just show you how you can use them, how you would use them to enter trades, etc. Then in section 4, we're going to talk all about the volume profile tool. I'll start with the general definition and an overview. I'll explain all the different parts and why this is a really, really valuable tool that is going to give us a very intuitive and easy way to identify really important support and resistance levels, and also how we can base trades around it, how we can look for price behaviors and movements around the different volume profile elements, and also how we use it to set profits, to set stops, etc. in our trades. Section number 5 is going to be all about risk management and trading psychology. So, I know, and this is from personal experience, when I was taking a bunch of different courses when I was starting out, risk management tends to be sort of a more, like, let's say, boring topic that people don't really want to pay much attention to. But believe me, risk management and trading psychology are really, really important, because at the end of the day, if you use proper risk management, even if you don't have a really high win percentage on your trades, with proper risk management, you are going to be able to keep your account alive and just keep your equity curve growing, which obviously is what we all want at the end of the day, just to be able to be profitable on whatever time frame we're measuring. So with risk management, we're going to go over different parameters and different measurements that we should be using, things we need to pay attention to, proper use of stop losses, etc., and good bad trading habits. I'm going to go over my own personal experiences. I'm going to share lessons that I've learned, things that you should definitely avoid, etc. Section number 6, building your strategy. This is where we're basically going to take everything that we've talked on the course from section 2 to 5, and I'm just going to show you how you can use price action concepts and patterns along with the volume profile tool to then build your trading strategy. We're going to go over my whole trading process, how I perform a top-down analysis to get an idea of for my trading plans on whatever markets I'm trading in, etc. And we'll just go over a lot of charts and show you how you can use all these concepts in confluence with each other to build a trading plan or strategy that is gonna have good risk management and provide you with trading opportunities with high risk reward ratios, etc. So this is pretty much where everything just comes together, and I just share with you exactly how I do my own trading. And then in section 7 is just going to be a conclusion. We're going to go over important points to important points to take away from the whole course, just give you some parting words, and just do a brief summary of everything that we saw during the course. So that's pretty much it. Again, thank you for joining me. I'm very excited to have you here, whether you are a returning student or you're just someone that just found out my my website and my courses here. Thanks again for joining, and I'm really excited to get started. So let's just get into it.